Okay. Last question na po. last na. Tungkol naman doon sa ICC. So ano na po ba yung status noong nung halimbawa po yung possibility na magkaroon ng arrest sa former president because of the cases filed in the ICC. Hindi lang si President Duterte, no, with others pa. So, ano po ba ang status nitong?
As of now, nothing of record from the ICC.
Okay. So, wala pa rin naman din communication ng DOJ with the ICC?
Wala po.
Wala. Okay. Tayo sa, may kaugnayan naman po ito dun sa obstruction of justice. Mr. Speaker, ano po ba yung ibig sabihin ng obstruction of justice?
Yung obstruction of justice po, that is a special law, that is a presidential decree na kung saan pinaparusahan po natin yung sino man, no, na magiging balakid, no, halimbawa sa pag-aresto ng isang tao na may kinakaharap na kaso. So basically, that is the essence of the obstruction of justice, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Thank you po dun sa definition. Dahil madalas ko itong naririnig, no, yung obstruction of justice, lalong-lalo na noong siniserve yung warrant of arrest kay Pastor Kibuloy. No, madalas na sabihin diyan ng mga pulis, obstruction of justice. And in fact, naririnig ko na rin sa mga pulis ngayon na magpa-file na sila ng mga kaso against individual, lawyer, organization na nag-cause ng obstruction of justice sa pagkakahuli or pagpapasuko kay Pastor Kibuloy. Yung pong statement ng dating Pangulong Duterte, kaugnay doon sa sinasabi niyang, dahil tinatanong siya, no, kung alam niya raw kung nasaan si Kibuloy. Ang sabi niya, alam niya, pero secret. Would you consider that as obstruction of justice?
Well, ang isang krimen po may mga elemento, ano. So kung lahat pong elemento na yon, regardless kung sino po yung possible offender, well, that would be a case for obstruction of justice. And in fact, this representation has also issued a press statement, no, na sinasabi ko po, meron pong possibility na pwede siyang may pwedeng harapin na kaso na obstruction of justice dahil sa kanya pong pahayag, no, publicly sinasabi niya, alam niya kung nasaan po si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, pero ayaw niyo po itong sabihin dahil ito po ay isang sikreto. So having said that, Mr. Speaker, yung pong kanyang pahayag, lalong-lalo na siya po ay isang property administrator ng KOJC compound. So in effect, that would warrant, no, a possible case of obstruction of justice.
Okay, aasahan ko ang DOJ na pag-aralan yung possible na pagkasampa ng case against former President Duterte for obstruction of justice. Well, next po ay ito. May kinalaman din ito sa mga PDL natin or yung may mga convicted, no? Yung nasa Bucor at saka sa CAW. Marami na po dito, no, Mr. Speaker, na mga matatanda na, mga may sakit, yung mga talagang pag may sakit, ibig sabihin terminally ill. Okay, Mr. Speaker. So, meron po bang ginagawa ngayon ng proseso para sa mga parol or presidential clemency sa ating mga PDL in the future po?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, yung pong nabanggit po ng ating kagalang-galang na Franz Castro, yung pong mga matatanda na, may mga sakit, they were recommended for executive clemency, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. So, meron po bang pwede bang malaman kung meron ng mga ilan yung pinoprocess sa ngayon? Kasi di ba usually pag presidential clemency, every end of the year yan. So meron na po ba tayong ballpark figure kung meron na tayo?
Yes, the Bucor has committed to submit the list, the official list of those recommended for the availment of the executive clemency. And I just would like to emphasize that the DOJ ensures fairness by applying the same standards to all inmates regardless of their political affiliation. So the criteria of granting pardon or parole include the severity of the offense, the prisoner's rehabilitation, and the behavior while incarcerated.
So, mayroon po ba tayong figure? Kung meron na kayong figure ngayon, wala pa.
If with the indulgence of Congresswoman Castro, if we can just submit to your office by
Ano lang?
By this week.
Figure lang nung.
more or less po 100 po.
100, mga 100. Okay. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng sabihin yung pangalan kasi, di ba? Okay, anyway, next. Dito na sa mas seryosong tanong, no? Well, Mr. Speaker, yung technical working groups po on ATA, yung IHL, TWG, on financing terrorism, and panel of prosecutors for ATA and terrorist-related cases. So yung tanong, Mr. Speaker, so how much is budget allocated for these 3 TWG po? Meron po bang budget? And who are the members of this TWG and the extent of work assigned to these 3 TWGs?
Wala akong nakalaan na specific fund for that purpose.
Yung tatlo?
So kanya-kanya pong gastos ang mga ahensya na involved po dito.
Oo, yung TWG on ATA, TWG on IHL, and TWG on financing terrorism. So ito po yung under sa DOJ.
Tama po.
Lahat ng TWG na ito. So yung mga members nito ay mga prosecutors under din sa DOJ.
Yes.
Tama po.
Tama po.
So ano po yung extent ng work assigned to these 3 TWGs?
The task of the technical working group, Mr. Speaker, is to review all relevant information rigorously before making a designation, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so yung TWG po, yung kumbaga nagwo-work sila para mag-recommend kung sino yung ide-designate as terrorist.
Tama po yun, Mr.
TWG
Speaker.
na ito. Tama ba yun?
Tama po yun.
Yung sa DOJ lang ba talaga ito?
Hindi po. Ang DOJ po is just a member.
Okay. Hindi, sabi nyo kasi, ang member nito ay mga prosecutors under the TWG. So, pag iba-ibahin po natin, no? Yung TWG on ATA, TWG on IHL, at saka TWG on financing terrorism. Although related naman itong lahat ng ito, no? So, yung primary function nito, together with the other agencies, sila yung nagre-recommend kung sino yung gagawing terrorist o i-recommend as terrorists or organizations.
Yes, tama po. Yun
Tama.
po yung function po nila bilang technical working group.
Okay, so ang ibig sabihin nito, they assist the AFP or coordinate or provide trainings to security forces like yung AFP, PNP, NBI, including NTF, LCAC. So nagpo-provide din ba sila nung ganon? Training and security forces. Training to security forces.
Yes, tama po, Mr. Speaker.
So do they assist the security forces in conducting case build-up on ATA, IHL, and financing terrorism?
Yes, tama po.
Sa ngayon po ba, Mr. Speaker, ilan na po ba yung may kaso nitong mga binabanggit natin na batas? Number lang po. Ilan po yung merong kaso sa ATA or may kaso sa IHL or sa financing terrorism o lahat may kaso? So,
Well, as to the number of persons being indicted for terrorism financing, meron ho tayong 92 na natanggap ngayong pong taong 2024.
Wait, including organizations, persons and organizations.
This only refers to individuals, Mr. Speaker, but we can commit to submit the figures for the
Okay.
organizations.
So, bigyan niyo po ako ng data, no, dun sa ATA, sa IHL, tsaka sa financing terrorism.
Doon naman po sa anti-terrorism financing, as of 2024, meron po natanggap na 5 kaso. Noong taong po 2023, meron pong 4. And also, with respect to the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020, we have a total number of 83 cases as of July 20 of 2024. With respect to the cases of IHL, the DOJ commits to submit the figures with respect to the number of cases.
So, is there any prosecutor po na, both a member of TWG and panel of prosecutors?
There is none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Do you allow AFP, especially its intelligence units, including PNP and NBI, to conduct workshop or even seminars with the members of TWG and panel of prosecutors?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So how many prosecutors were assigned to the prosecuting panels to prosecute ATA and financing terrorism cases?
So, Mr. Speaker, with respect to the number of prosecutors, more or less, we have 30 assigned prosecutors.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So are the members of the prosecuting panels as well as TWGs who have trained with AFP or PNP have degrees in the National Security Administration from National Defense College?
Not necessarily, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so are the members of prosecuting panels or members of the TWG who are also given the mandate to conduct preliminary investigation or members of any investigating panel involving ATA, IHL, and financing terrorism cases?
Mr. Speaker, may we request the good interpolator to repeat the question?
So yung po bang mga members ng mga prosecuting panels or members ng TWG na binibigyan ng mandate na mag-conduct ng mga PIs or members of any investigating panel involved in ATA, IHL, and financing terrorism case, involved din ba sila doon?
Yung panel of prosecutors po ay iba pa po doon sa mga miyembro ng TWG. So magkaiba po silang grupo.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last questions na po, Mr. Speaker. On AO 35, yung mga case build-up on terrorism. Since its creation, how many cases of EJ case of activists and advocates had been subjected to case build-up? And how many cases have been filed pursuant to such case build-up? Of which, how many indictments were secured and how many convictions have so far been obtained? And how many cases are pending with AO 35 task force involving similar cases po?
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, we have here data with respect to the case build-up of the implementation of the AO 35 for the calendar year 2023. The National Prosecution Service received 14,380 complaints handled. Also, complaints resolved, 14,249. The number of cases filed in court is 13,425. Complaints dismissed is 824. Disposition rate is 99.9%. And that is with respect to the calendar year 2023.
Okay, can I have the written report on that, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, gladly we will submit this written report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the inclusion of IHL and ATA cases in its mandate, how many case build-ups were conducted in relation to these cases po? Involving legal mass organizations, which you classify as alleged legal front organizations. And of these cases, how many have already been filed with prosecutor's office and how many are now pending with the courts?
With the indulgence of the Honorable Castro, would it be possible if the DOJ will just submit the detailed report on the information being sought by the good interpolator?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, it is acceptable. So, last question. How competent is the AO35 task forces to conduct case build-up for EJK cases, especially those involving EJK? So, we have to ask, dahil meron po kasing mga recent dismissal, no, itong yung cases na iniimbestigahan ng AO35. No, halimbawa po doon kay Manny Asuncion case in Cavite and the Evangelista couple in Batangas, where the investigating panel dismissed the cases for insufficiency of evidence.
Mr. Speaker, they're very competent to handle these cases because there are designated prosecutors, wherein 160 are designated for the AO35. We have members of the Philippine National Police who undergone trainings, wherein 847 are from the PNP, 567 are from the AFP, we have 28 from the NBI, we have 4 from the DILG, and also we have 46 from the Commission on Human Rights. And therefore, a total of 1,652 number of prosecutors, investigators, and relevant personnel trained on IHL, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague.
No, hindi po IHL ito, no. Mga EJK cases po ng AO35. But anyway, kung alimbawa po hindi po nirecommend ng task force ng AO35 or dinismiss ang kaso, so ibig sabihin pwede pa naman itong i-file sa korte. Tama po.
That also includes
kumbaga,
The crime is not prescribed.
kasi naimbestigahan sa task force ng AO35 at dinismiss yung kaso. So, may possibility ba na dalhin din ito dun sa korte?
Yes, the refiling is subject to prescription, Madam Chair. So as long as the crime does not prescribe, then it can be refiled. And of course, the personnel under this, there is a continuing training for the prosecutors and all aspects of the investigation and the prosecution.
Okay. Last question na po. last na. Tungkol naman dun sa ICC. So, ano na po ba yung status noong halimbawa po yung possibility na magkaroon ng arrest sa former president because of the cases filed in the ICC. Hindi lang si President Duterte, no, with others pa. So, ano po ba ang status nitong?
As of now, nothing of record from the ICC.
Okay. So, wala pa rin naman din communication ng DOJ with the ICC?
Wala po.
Wala. Okay, that's all, Mr. Speaker, and thank you po, distinguished sponsor.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize Senior Deputy Minority Leader